Hello everyone watching this video, it is Jordan from the Footballing Question here. Before this video starts, we have two very important messages for you sitting watching this video at home. Message number one, we would like to say thank you to every single one of you watching this video. The support during the Euros content has been crazy on the channel, and the last video is sitting on something like 380 views. So from the Footballing Question, we would like to say thank you to everyone watching. But message number two, 62% of you aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you are watching this video, if you've seen our previous videos and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the YouTube channel because a lot more content is coming in the future. That's it from me though. Enjoy the video.
Okay, welcome back. We're now obviously going to move on to a new topic, keeping on with England after the disappointment we've just experienced yesterday. Where next? Where next for England? Where do things go from here, boys?
Well, I mean, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I think this tournament, I'm a bit worried about next year, the World Cup, because I think this tournament was our biggest chance ever. You know, it was massive. I don't think we're going to get a chance like it again, especially not such an easy route to the final. And the good thing is that we've only got to wait 1 year, and so the chances of this squad, you know, dying off are quite low considering how young they are. Right, so realistically, we should go into the next tournament with a good team. That's just what should happen. I don't know, because obviously you can never tell what's going to happen, but it's just worrying because I feel like there's so much pressure on us now to win the tournament. There's so much. You know, we failed 2018, and obviously 2018 we went in with absolutely no pressure. But this one, there was a lot. There was a lot, right? And all we did was get to a semi-final, and then we go into this one with so much pressure. We got to a final. We did do brilliantly, right? Obviously we wanted to win, but that didn't work out. Now, this is where we have to win, because I just don't see, if we don't win, that I feel like it's a downward spiral from there. If we don't at least challenge for the tournament anyway.
We have the squad to challenge for the tournament next time, 100%. It's going to be tougher for sure, because obviously you got a lot more teams in. Teams like Argentina just won Copa America, of course. Brazil in there as well, and then you got all the other teams. It's going to be tough. It is going to be very tough. Do I think we can do it though? Yes. Do I think we can do just as well as we did here, just as well we did in the last World Cup? 100%. But it's about staying focused, removing those mistakes that we just lived through, and then going on and being like, yeah, we can do it. Putting some belief back in, because after that game there will be less belief for sure. Going into the next one though, the next tournament, we need to keep belief and we need to keep the hope. This is the best squad we have had in a very long time.
Since the golden generation anyway.
Exactly. So we really should push on and try and challenge even more. We need to win something soon, for sure, especially after the last two tournaments. But could the World Cup be the one? You never know. We've been going upwards from 2018 now. Semi-final, final. Who knows? Maybe we can win it.
I mean, I think I completely agree with you, Jordan. We've definitely got an amazing team right now, and you know, going back on Ashley's point, you know, we're very fortunate that we've got a very quick opportunity to bounce back only next year with another tournament. Obviously, it's a shame it's not in the summer when it would have been if it was a normal World Cup. That would have been amazing, but instead it's a bit longer. We've got to wait until winter next year. Don't really need to go into that now. We'll probably talk about that when it comes around, and you know, for all we know, we might even boycott talking about it, because that's, you know, that's a podcast in itself, Qatar. But this current squad is just so young, and you know, they've proved themselves so much. And at the end of the day, we made a semi-final, then we've made a final. There's one more step to go. There's one more step to go. And at the end of the day, if you make 2 semi-finals in a row and you make a semi-final then a final, that's not a fluke. Clearly we have a brilliant team and we are one of the most feared nations in the world right now. Like, not many teams will want to come up against us. The Italians were probably cheering on Denmark in the semi-final, and we proved to be a tough game for them. You know, we took them all the way to the penalties. And it just wasn't the time for us. But if you're telling me, you know, the people in that setup are thinking that's that, then you're wrong. Right now, Southgate, his reaction to that game, it should be clapping his players on, telling them to enjoy their holiday, and as soon as they leave St George's Park, go, right, how do we win Qatar? We haven't even finished qualifying for it, I don't think. But, like, come on, we'll qualify. How do we win that tournament? We haven't even drawn the thing yet. I don't care if we have an easy run or a difficult run. If we go into every game with confidence, with this team, I think we can beat any team. And we have that set up right now. But it's just sad. It's hard to talk about things now, obviously, because we're coming out of yesterday's result and it's not the best. So we all clearly think we're going to bounce back. You know, there's always that fear. Are we going to waste another generation? Is that going to happen? Is this the golden generation all over again, where it just doesn't fall into place? Or do you guys feel we will win silverware of this squad eventually?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if we'll win silverware, because I think we're going to have other opportunities when we're going to get close to it. But I'm still not convinced that we will actually lift the trophy, if I'm being honest. I don't know about if the generation will be wasted, because we've got so many younger players, and I think Harry Kane's still got a lot left in him. You know, I really think that we could definitely challenge for some of them. I don't know, a year's difference is not long in football at all. One season. What can happen one season? Jadon Sancho gets some Premier League experience. He gets even better. Okay. Saka gets a year older. He's R9 times 2 by then, right? It can only really, when you think about it, get better. The one thing I will say though, going into the World Cup, I think Southgate will have a lot more backing, so much more backing, because I love the man now. Before the tournament, did not. Right, let's be honest. We all know. I say this every episode. We wanted him out. You know, we wanted a new manager, but Southgate, I've got so much respect for him now. You know, he might have made some mistakes in the final, but to get all the way there, he's been brilliant. So yeah, going into the 2022 World Cup, that will be the difference. Everyone will be behind Southgate. Well, most people anyway. And maybe that's going to will give us a better start in the tournament, because maybe Southgate will think, they actually believe in me now. Maybe they have a bit more confidence in making bigger decisions that he thinks will actually work. But I don't think it's going to get wasted. I hope not, anyway.
The thing is it not a waste if we don't win anything?
So then you've got to look at the reality of actually winning something, because it doesn't happen to every team. Like, it's hard. It's hard to do that.
Like, think about Holland or the Netherlands, whatever you want to call them. That they're an amazing national team with many different generations, and they've never won a World Cup. You know, they've had Johan Cruyff, Robin van Persie, Dennis Bergkamp. They've never won a World Cup. You know, but despite they've had many final losses, they've had multiple final losses, is not an achievement to get a generation that far and to get them to that stage. And to say, would you like, that's like, to go along those lines, would you say Southgate has failed as England manager so far? Because he hasn't won anything with this squad yet? No, because he's gone further than anyone's gone since Alf Ramsey in 1966. And that's what defines it for me. I think getting the most out of an England team is getting them in a position to win something. And that's what he's done. You know, we couldn't do it with the Golden Generation with Sven, but we can do it now. You know, the Golden Generation realistically should have made a final or two, or a semi-final, and they didn't.
When you look at it, we are sorry, Jordan. We are by far we're getting the most out of this team as well. Because I was just going to say, Golden Generation, we obviously didn't at all. We couldn't find a system that suited all those players. Now we've got players that, when you compare them to the golden generation, aren't as good, right? Right, but we're performing better. So really, we're kind of, overperforming for what we've got now. And these players, realistically, when you think about it, can only get better. So hopefully, better things are to come.
I think that golden generation we were talking about is so different, because the one thing that our squad now has that squad didn't was we're more of a cohesive unit, right? I think a lot of the poor performances, I guess, were around who's better, Gerrard or Lampard, that sort of argument.
Lampard.
And
Gerrard.
Lampard. So it's just one of them things. You look at the training pictures and stuff, and everyone's laughing, having a great time. Now, for example, like I don't know how. I'm trying to think of, for example, all the pool pictures, for example, like that have been going around from the World Cup. Like, they just look so happy, and they look
Isaac on a unicorn.
Exactly.
What a guy.
Like, everyone looks like they're enjoying it and they're having a good time. And I think we're more of a team than ever before. Do I think we can win something? Yeah, I do. I don't see why not. And do I think this generation of players will be wasted? If they are, it's a disgrace, really, because there is no way I can see us wasting the amount of potential that we have within the squad.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been a long time since Croatia, and obviously in the moment we were all disappointed, but as time's gone on, we've all talked about that summer, what a great summer that was, and eventually we will be able to get rid of these feelings and look back on this summer and go, we really did well. And I'm full of pride for every single one of them. Seeing Declan Rice walk around that pitch in tears, I thought he played his heart out last night. I thought that was his best game in an England shirt. The amount of times he took people on and really took responsibility. And it was a shame he had to go off, because he had to go off because he'd run his socks off and couldn't give anything else. And, we will look back on this fondly, eventually. Now's not quite the time. Now's the time where we've all got to calm down and kind of just think where we are as a nation. And, I do think with this set of players and this manager, something is happening. And, before this tournament, obviously me and Ashley and Jordan as well, we weren't fond of Gareth Southgate, and I was really not fond of him, and mainly because I'd kind of fallen into what other people had said about Southgate, that it was a fluke, but it's not a fluke now, is it? You've done a semi-final, now final. That's not a fluke. That's consistency, and in many ways he's the opposite of Roy Hodgson. Roy Hodgson, didn't lose a single qualifying match. We looked like the best team on paper, and then we'd go into a tournament and play absolutely awful. Whereas Southgate will play really bad in a friendly, like he'll bottle the Nations League, and then we lost to Denmark last year and drew 0-0 away, and we were like, oh God, we're awful. That's when the seed started to go in for me and Southgate, and then we've gone into a tournament and we have not conceded an open play. That's what you really need to know. So yeah, to say I think definitively, yeah, we have not wasted this generation. We will bounce back, and I definitely see England challenging. And when I say challenging, I don't mean maybe we'll get to the quarters. I'm saying England will at least make the semi-finals in the World Cup next year, and I am putting my foot down on that. We will make the semi-finals next winter, 100%. I have every bit of faith in this team. Like Italy, at the end of the day, no one's beaten us on the pitch. They've relied on penalties. We haven't lost in an actual match. Which team? I think if we play Italy again, I think we can beat them. I think France, I think we can beat them. I think Germany, I think Brazil, I think they're weak defensively. I think Argentina we can get at. I think there is no nation right now who on our day we can't beat. It's just yesterday it wasn't.
And I think coming into that, I think Southgate's now got a record of learning from his mistakes. We saw that with Croatia. we turned them over. We saw that at Denmark. You know, we got over the line eventually, and you know, if we do come up against Italy, probably, you know, there's a big chance we can do it, just like we did against Denmark and Croatia. But there's always going to be that new team. There's always going to be that big team. They're the favourites. That are always going to challenge us. And at the end of the day, we've got to learn how to beat a big team like that without having the experience or without already knowing what they're going to do. We've just got to perform better than them. But yeah, on to 2022.
Yeah, I think we're closing in here to the end of this. But if there's one thing I'm going to say is that, you know, a lot of players are inexperienced in this squad, and now they've got a little bit of experience, and it will hopefully do them world of good. Because tell you what, pressure makes diamonds, and next year, every single one of them is going to shine.